In this video, if you're trying to make money online, I'm going to tell you why high ticket sales is the easiest, most efficient way you have to do that. And if you're looking at anything else, all these other ridiculous ways, you should forget those because you're going to fail. So I see a lot of people fail at any online business or make money stuff and just give up immediately, when if they had started with the sales instead, they would have succeeded and their life would have been way different. So once you land a good high ticket sales role and you get on with a good business, you are never going to find an easier way to make 10K a month and more in your life. If you can't do this, I'm not really sure you're going to make it anyway, bro. So let's get into it. First, I believe that your goal, and what most people's goal is to make the most money in the most efficient way possible, right? That's how I'll say it. Now, at higher levels, that's going to be a business or passive investments, but most people watching this video are not there yet. And starting a business at the beginning is going to be way more work than you think it's going to be. The guy in your feed that promised you that it's easy is fucking lying to you, bro. You can guarantee that shit. But for most people, they just want to make a lot of money in the least amount of time, in the most efficient way possible so that they can enjoy their life. And high ticket remote sales is the best way to do that. Your job is to just sit on a computer for a few hours a day and talk to people on Google Meet, on Zoom, who already want to buy what you're selling. That last point is key. So you basically just have to answer a few questions for people who are already highly interested in buying the products that you are selling. So there's no real work on your part, in my opinion. You're not trying to convince random people to buy things that they may not want or need, like most sales jobs. So you mostly just run the same call every time. You ask them a few questions because you're trying to get to know their situation and find out if this product is right for them or not. If it is, you close them. If it's not, you disqualify them and you move on to the next call, to the next lead. That's it. There's no other responsibilities except some pipeline management and some follow-ups during your downtime. And you get paid 10K a month and more to do this. Sometimes I feel like I'm in the twilight zone, that I have to explain to people how great of an opportunity this is and how easy this is to do, and more people don't want to do this. I think the internet has just ruined a lot of things for people because they see someone say something like me. They're like, oh, it's so easy to make all this money. And like 99% of the time, that's a lie. So when they see this, they're like, yeah, probably not. Now, let's go into detail on what makes high ticket sales so great and why it's so easy. First of all, the biggest attraction factor, you're only speaking with warm inbound leads. And most people I have found do not understand the massive difference that this makes. In a lot of sales jobs, you have to do cold calling. You have these really long sales cycles where you're constantly having to reach out to people over and over. You're having to convince them to buy, right? That's your whole job. Even if you're selling something expensive and legitimate, most sales jobs are doing like 90% outreach to people, and only like 10% of that is actually the sales. And in high ticket sales, closers barely have to do any of that. It's basically flipped, all right? If you are on a good offer, all of your calls are scheduled for you because they're coming from content and ads. So you just show up each day, look at your calendar, take the calls. When I started doing this, I was like, holy shit, this is fucking insane. Where has this been my whole life? And since you're speaking to warm inbound leads, they already want to buy what you're selling. So the calls are not these difficult, like stressful Wolf of Wall Street performances that you imagine sales is. You are talking to people who have already made up their mind that they want to buy to some degree, basically. So it changes the whole dynamic of the sales call, and there's way less stress on you. That's the way I would put it. Now, let's talk about what makes this all possible. How is it possible that high ticket sales roles have figured out these easy, warm inbound leads who are ready to buy, but all these other sales jobs haven't, and they're making you do a bunch of cold, difficult outreach? What's the deal there? And the answer to that is a couple of things. But the main thing is that internet businesses are using social media content to generate, warm up, and nurture these leads, which delivers an influx of people all the time who are ready to buy that are going and scheduling calls. Social media content is like free advertising running all the time, 24/7. So think about a TV ad or a Netflix ad, because lots of people watch Netflix. They might get you for like 30 seconds, maybe a few times a week, where they are putting their product in front of your face. And most of the time you don't even watch the fucking ad. You get up and go do something, or you skip it or whatever. These days, people are addicted to their phones. I want to say this, but I can't say this on YouTube. People are addicted to their phones, okay? And if a business or influencer is posting content every day, talking about what they sell, the problem that they solve, people are seeing that every day because of AI and the algorithm. The content is just getting shot to the exact target person that the content creator, business owner is trying to reach. So this is happening. People will watch this content for weeks, for months, and when people are ready to buy on their own time, they go and schedule the call. They make the decision to schedule the sales call. Not because I reached out to them like 99% of other sales jobs and fucking sucker punched them in the middle of the day and tried to get money from them, right? See the difference here? And think about it like this. With TV advertisements, they have to fight with all these other people to get in front of your face. With social media, you're basically like running home every night or every second you get to watch someone's advertisements. Because people are like, oh, I can't wait to go home and scroll on my phone for 6 hours straight. Can't wait to pull my phone out of my pocket and just smack my fucking self all day with this fucking thing, right? I can't wait to watch a bunch of advertising for a person or business's product that they are selling from an Instagram account. Imagine how much more money Dr. Pepper or Coca-Cola would make if people were desperate to go home and watch like 15-second Coca-Cola commercials all night. Think about that. Imagine that scenario. You're like, I can't wait to go home and watch all these Coca-Cola commercials. Don't you think you're going to go buy a shitload of Coca-Cola? But that's what you're doing with social media. I can't wait to watch this guy's content. Oh, he's selling something. You're going to fucking buy it. You know? That's what you're doing. You're scrolling a business's or influencer's page all the time, watching 15, 30, 50 plus pieces of their content. So you're basically watching 50 plus pieces of ads from someone every day. Isn't that crazy? Doesn't this blow your, and it's all free for them. Isn't that wild, bro? Doesn't that blow your fucking mind? You're addicted to people's advertising. That is insane. We're literally living in the twilight zone. The punchline is you have thousands and thousands of people watching content every day who are potential leads. And this keeps a consistent flow of people going and scheduling calls who are ready to buy. And this is free for the business. The second part of this is also going to be running advertisements. So if a business has a good offer and is running great content and has ads dialed in, you are going to make insane, ridiculous money as a salesperson. If you have a good product or offer, which lots of online businesses do, and then you support that with the content, you will constantly have people coming in who want to buy what you're selling. This is a game changer. And even though it seems like social media content has been around for a while, most businesses don't even use it. And if they do it, they're doing it wrong. They post like once a week, or it's just horrible, boring ass content, right? If there's no numbers on this, but I bet you 99% of all businesses, 99.9999999 of all are not using social media. And that's crazy because it's free advertising, bro. Absolute craziness. You get to smack people in the face with your product or service every day because people cannot pry their phones away from their faces. You are addicted to a business's advertising, and that is a business's dream. Attention is the game. It builds familiarity, it builds trust. If you have attention, you can make a ton of money, and high-ticket salespeople are in the best spot to capitalize on that. That is why this is such an amazing opportunity, one reason. And another reason this is such a mind-blowing opportunity is there's not a lot of selling going on. So internet businesses, another problem they have solved is they're actually selling products that solve problems for people. So they're easy to sell and people want to buy them. If I'm a business owner and I can't get leads, or I'm stuck at a certain monthly income, monthly revenue number, I want to pay a marketing agency desperately to bring me way more qualified leads so that I can make more money. I lay awake at night thinking about this problem. If I'm out of shape and I tried everything, I want to buy a coaching program from someone who I look up to, whose content I watch every day, and get their specific help with my health because I'm tired of being obese, insecure, and unhealthy. You see what I'm saying? So you're selling things that are actually helping people and that they want to buy. And those are the easiest and best things to sell. On top of that, you're selling products that have a high profit margin, which means your commission for every sale is fat. So since the products are digital, they're delivered over the internet, there's not a lot of overhead or costs that the business has to pay for. So more of the money from the sale goes to your commission. See what I'm saying? And that's how you can make so much money so easily. Lastly, there's a lot less moving parts in these sales roles than in like a corporate sales job or any other sales job that I've ever had. I've had a ton of sales jobs, and they all had so much stupid bureaucracy and steps I had to go through, all this complete nonsense that had nothing to do with selling or making the business money. And then they want you to do like social things outside of the job with the other people you work with. What? I'm not doing that. Kiss my ass. In high ticket sales, all you have to do is close the sales. On to the next. If you're making sales, the business owner will leave you alone. It's literally heaven. Now, most people have not ever run a business or done sales really or anything like that, so they don't realize how great of an opportunity this is. And the reason, to answer your last question, why everyone you know isn't doing this if it's such a great opportunity is the same reason people don't do anything else. Because they're lazy and they're looking for some magic fucking button to press where money's just gonna fly out of their ass, because that's what normies believe. You have to figure out the easiest way to make money, and that doesn't exist. And they just want to do the bare fucking minimum. If they have to do anything hard, they just fucking give up and cry and start making excuses and cope on the internet. Comment sections are full of these people. That's why. You can make a ton of money doing high ticket sales. You just have to do some upfront work to find a good job. That's the end of the video. If you want my help getting a closer role or a setter role, go to the links in the description. Until next time.